Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new TV show review here on Max Talks Movie. Today, we're going to break down all 6 short episodes of the brand new Star Wars show, Tales of the Jedi, which tells the stories of 3 episodes about Ahsoka Tano from birth until the end of season 7 of Clone Wars, and the before he turned into Count Dooku, Master Jedi Dooku, as he trains his Padawan Qui-Gon Jinn and learns the deception of the Jedi. As I said, each episode is around 15 minutes long, and there are 6 total episodes. Welcome back to a brand new review here, Max Talks Movies. I'm Max Dinenberg. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings, and a box office breakdown show. So please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. Comment down below. First of all, you're a big Clone Wars, Rebels, Bad Batch, animated fan for Star Wars. If you've never seen Star Wars animation, was this the first time you checked it out? Do you think this is a good, if you've seen Clone Wars and Rebels, is this a good addition to the Star Wars universe? Do you want to see more of these type of stories, filling in the little plot points? And please like the video, guys, the thumbs up button. That's how support the channel. So as I said, this is a spoiler breakdown of these episodes. Now, I'm not going to go episode by episode by episode, just generally the 3 episodes are of our 2 main characters. So if you've not seen Tales of the Jedi, I highly recommend it. I think this is one of the better Star Wars things, this and Andor, of the past couple of years. So I still highly check it out, even if you have not seen any of Star Wars animation. Well, yes, you might need to know about Ahsoka Tano to get emotionally attached. The interesting things about Dooku, if you've seen the prequels, is really interesting. So please check it out. Then come back here and check out my spoiler review. So let's go. Actually, we will go episode by episode here. Episode 1 is called Life and Death. This is for me, my least favorite episode of the series. It wasn't a bad episode, it was just an okay episode. Ahsoka is born. And this is, I guess, a nice way of showing how cultures really find out that one of them is a Jedi. She's born, and Ahsoka's mom is basically, after a year of being born, the mom usually takes the child hunting. So she takes them hunting, she does the kill, and then this big creature kind of steals Ahsoka, and then Ahsoka has that connection to the creature, and that's when the person who kind of runs over this tribe is basically like, Ahsoka is a Jedi. I just found that episode to be okay. I think the world building of seeing Ahsoka being born, if you've seen, like me, well, I'll just say this right off the bat. I've seen every episode of Clone Wars, I think 2 or 3 times. I've seen Rebels a couple of times. So I adore Star Wars television, especially Clone Wars and Rebels. So this character does mean a lot to me, and I get very, very emotionally attached to Ahsoka Tano, for me, a top 3 Star Wars character. So this really meant a lot to me, just to see her again back in animation with Ashley Eckstein voicing her. But obviously not this episode. It was a baby Ahsoka. It was just an okay episode. That's the only thing I can. There's not a lot that happened in this episode. It was just a very mid episode. I was happy to see seeing Ahsoka born and her parents and where she came from. But really, the actual story of the episodes being captured and that stuff, I just didn't really find it that compelling. We get a big jump up with episode 2, which is called Justice. This is where we get Dooku, who's once again being voiced by Corey Burton from Clone Wars. His Padawan is Qui-Gon Jinn, and they go on this mission to this planet. And on this planet they're trying to find a senator's son who has been captured by their own people. And when Dooku and Qui-Gon, again, not voiced by Liam Neeson in this episode, because it's a teenage Qui-Gon. We get this scene with the son being like captured, and he's kind of like, actually, I'm all right. They're treating me okay. The fact of the matter is that these people are why is my father doing that? Like, my father this is our people. Why is my father not helping our people? And this is where Dooku kind of wants to sniff this out, because Dooku and Qui-Gon, we learn, Dooku explains that they were not here sent by the Jedi Council. They were not sent by the Republic. They went on their own mini investigation to figure out what was really going on. So we got this big standoff between Dooku and the senator, and Dooku's like, you're really killing these people. These is your people. And the senator just doesn't care. He's like, they have my son. It shouldn't matter that they're my people. He's my son. Please bring him out to me, or you'll have to die. Doesn't matter that you are a Jedi. So we have this big fight. And this leads to Dooku flipping out. He starts choking the senator. He pushes the guards of the Force. He shoves Qui-Gon into the barn, basically. And Qui-Gon does the heroic thing in this scene, which is, Qui-Gon unchains the son and says, "Save your father." And right before Dooku's about to kill the senator, this is when Dooku sees this. He sees the kid right in front of him and he stops choking him. And Dooku says, "You've done, to Qui-Gon, you really have saved lives today." And the son, before he leaves to go with his dad back, he's like, "Well, I understand now what you've been going through. This will not happen anymore." I thought it was a really good episode. Again, the politics of Dooku's episodes are really fantastic, and it really is what makes the prequel era my favorite era of Star Wars. You have Jedis in their prime, you have all these politics, and is the Senate and the Republic the right thing that Jedi should be serving? It's so compelling. I think this show does a fabulous job doing that. Then we move on to episode 3. We stick with Dooku for an episode called Choices, where Mace Windu, who's once again is voiced by Terrence T.C. Carson, who I believe also voiced Windu on Clone Wars. I could be wrong. I believe it was either the movie or the whole show. He voiced Mace Windu, and this is before Windu is a part of the Jedi Council, which we learned at the very end of the episode. They go on this mission. There's a mysterious death of one of the Jedi on this planet, and again, Dooku sniffs this out. And Windu's been very persistent this whole episode. We have to follow the rules. We have to follow protocol. We're serving the Republic, and Dooku wants to find out what really happened to this Jedi, and clearly something is clearly off. The senator's clearly hiding something. What really is going on? And they sniff this out. The senator gets killed by the guards, and Dooku kills some of the guards and just leaves this one guard hanging. And the guy's like, "This guy's been treating us like crap. He's not doing anything for this planet." Very similar to episode 2. We are done with this. We're done serving this person who doesn't believe in our people and doesn't believe in this planet. And this is where Dooku kind of puts things together in his mind that maybe the Jedi are serving the wrong people, and the Jedi are just thinking, and this is what the best part about Dooku's episodes are, is that he's giving this idea, which is the right idea. The Jedi, and really Windu is a perfect example to have in this episode. Windu's just thinking about the senator because he's in the Republic, he's on Coruscant, that's what matters. And Dooku actually sees the things that people should be seeing, which is what's actually going on this planet and for the people. And Windu becomes the master at the end of the day is because Dooku got the senator killed. And Windu did not do that, so Windu got the spot of the Jedi Council and not Dooku. And I found it to be really compelling. It's the biggest, again, everyone always asks, why did the Jedi fall? How can they not sniff out the Sith rising above them? And it's because these things, the Jedi were just looking in the wrong directions. And while they say they serve the people, bring balance to the Force, bring peace in the galaxy, they're just thinking about the senators and the people who are higher class. And Dooku saw what was really going on and how these people are going. You can see the turn coming. So I thought this episode was going to give me an episode with Windu saying that he's now now a Jedi master. And Dooku had this great back and forth with Windu. Just a great, great episode, especially with the politics. Then we get to the best episode of the series, which is called The Sith Lord. This is the last one with Count Dooku. We begin this episode really on a good note. We knew this happened. This takes place, the opening scene takes place during the Phantom Menace, which we didn't really know when Dooku kind of went over. It became Lord Tyrannus. But Dooku erases Kamino and erases the Sifo-Dyas, so that is why Obi-Wan in Attack of the Clones looks for Kamino, and there's no records in the Republic because Dooku erased all of it. This is where Dooku talks to Jocasta Nu, and Jocasta Nu's like, actually, your Padawan fought a Sith Lord on Tatooine, which is obviously Qui-Gon fighting Maul for the first time on Tatooine. Then we cut to a scene with adult Qui-Gon and Yaddle walking in past Dooku, and this is Liam Neeson coming back to voice him. Liam Neeson, who kept saying that I am above television, I'm above Star Wars television, but He has already cameoed in Obi-Wan Kenobi, and now he is the voice of Qui-Gon once again. A very brief cameo, but still, it was amazing to hear Liam Neeson back as this character once again. And Bryce Dallas Howard, who's been directing The Mandalorian a lot, she now gets a voice. She voiced Yaddle in this episode. And Dooku kind of has it fun. The last conversation he has with Qui-Gon, and Qui-Gon's already bragging about how amazing Obi-Wan is. It's a really touching scene. And then we get Yaddle, and Dooku wants to go talk to someone. And this is after now Phantom Menace. Maul kills Qui-Gon, and Dooku's pissed. He's like, it was not in the deal that Qui-Gon would be dead in this situation. And then we get the Emperor Palpatine in it, voiced by Ian McDiarmid from the movies, which is, again, great stuff. Great scene between Darth Sidious and Count Dooku. And Yaddle shows up, and she's like, I actually believe you. That's why I stepped down from the Jedi Council. They are corrupt, but we need to fix this. We can't just let them sit there and crumble. And Dooku's like, it's too late. I've already turned. Dooku does have this great fight scene with Yaddle, closes the thing on Yaddle. Like, oh my God, what a violent death. And then Yaddle comes up very heroic, and then Dooku slices Yaddle as we get to the episode as the Master Jedi turns into the Sith apprentice. Amazing episodes for Count Dooku. Let's move to episode 5. I'm trying to go this as quickly as possible. Practice makes perfect. This is when we see Ahsoka training. She has this really fun challenge, and Anakin's like, this is actually kind of, we all do it. You're better than that. Gives this challenge with Captain Rex's team. She keeps getting knocked out. She keeps trying to practice with the clones. And we get the big hook at the end, which is that all that practice led up to that quick moment at the end of Clone Wars, literally the last episode. We go to the last episode of Clone Wars, and before Rex comes out and tries to pretend that he's still corrupt and has Ahsoka prisoner, that practice makes perfect. And I did get a bit choked up because that episode was really special to me, especially from a Rex point of view. I got very teary-eyed in that episode, especially when Rex takes off his helmet and starts crying. I got very emotional, so going back to that moment kind of got me choked up, but the episode was okay. Again, very similar to the first episode. I like this better than the first episode, though, just because of that emotional hook at the end. And the idea of Anakin and Ahsoka back together was a lot of fun. And this does feel like an Anakin and Ahsoka real dynamic. So again, great to see Matt Lanter and Ashley Eckstein and Dee Bradley Baker and James Arnold Taylor all coming back from Clone Wars to voice these characters. So again, fun stuff. The last episode, I was kind of in between on Ahsoka. We get this great opening scene where we get to Padme's funeral. We see Bail Organa, who we did not see at the end of Revenge of the Sith. And then Ahsoka was at Padme's funeral. And, Bail goes up to Ahsoka. He's like, you can't be here. But Ahsoka's like, I'm done with the war. I'm done with everything. So she goes on this farm. Bail leads through that recording by saying, basically, if you need anything, you want to get back into it, I am here for you. Ahsoka's like, okay, I'll take it, but I'm not really coming back anytime soon. And Ahsoka saves someone. The guy, her brother, is clearly very much into the Empire, so he rats Ahsoka out. This whole town is destroyed, and the Inquisitor's there, and the kid obviously does not realize. That this Inquisitor is going to kill him. It doesn't matter that he's once the Empire. So this Inquisitor is voiced by Clancy Brown, who continues to come back for Star Wars animated things. If you're not familiar, in Clone Wars, he voiced Savage Opress, who's one of the stronger characters, Darth Maul's brother in the show. But we get this scene, Ahsoka kind of kills the Inquisitor very quickly, and then she calls in Bail, and we get the scene of Ahsoka kind of feeling confident. I wasn't underwhelmed. I was so happy to see Ahsoka, especially Ashley Eckstein. I like Rosario Dawson a lot, but Ashley Eckstein to me is the voice of Ahsoka Tano. So to have her come back was really great. The scene with the Inquisitor, the look of the Inquisitor was very cool. But it wasn't like the greatest of episodes. The Dooku stuff was so fascinating on a whole other level, really adds to it. I think Ahsoka, it was just fun to see Ahsoka, but for me, this is a really great 6 episodes of Tales of the Jedi. I would love to see them do more of these type of stories. I don't think it matters which trilogy they want to go into, if it stays with the prequels, but Dave Filoni, who did create and wrote all the episodes of this series, he is still spectacular, especially as Star Wars animation. So I love Tales of the Jedi. I think this is actually better than the Bad Batch show. And this was 6 episodes, 15 minutes apiece. So that's my thoughts on Tales of the Jedi. Coming up soon is my Andor review. I haven't gotten to it yet, but I'm about to do my review of Andor episode 8. As well as my box office breakdown show. Reviews of Black Panther are coming out in the next couple of weeks, as well as more reviews of Andor. I'll see you guys soon.